Yeah, that's right. We're back. It's the DAZN Boxing Show. I go by the name of Buck.
And I'm Barak, the boxing bully.
I'm excited to talk about these fights. Some we know are happening. Others, we're hopeful that they will happen.
In the direction.
Yeah, they're moving in the right direction. I mean, look, you and I always say, look, we don't believe anything until it's signed on a dotted line. Right. But when you want to see a fight so much, right, and you're so passionate about it, any good news, anything there's a little shed of light, you jump on it, you attach to it. So that's what we're doing with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Look, there's talks that obviously Errol is going to be fighting Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford fighting Alexis Rocha. And if they get past those opponents, looks like they're negotiating a fight down the line. Is it safe to say that those two guys are heavy favorites? If this indeed is the plan, Barak, those two guys should get past those opponents and finally meet.
Yeah, of course it's safe to say that. But when it comes to Keith Thurman, he's a live dog, and he's definitely
a puncher.
Yeah, he's definitely a puncher. Even not Terrence, but even Sean Porter said that he was the hardest puncher he's faced.
Right.
So. He throws punches from I don't know where, you know, and he's able to jump from offense to defense. I just love his style. I know you don't particularly, but
we always want to highlight that. Like, I like Keith Thurman. I think he's a hell of a fighter. I mean, there are certain things that he does in the ring that I don't love. Yeah, right. but you want to put it on blast.
My fault. I thought you said it publicly already.
No.
All right, ready?
Look, at the end of the day, look, let's keep this going. At the end of the day, he's a threat. He can potentially beat, especially with the fact that he is the underdog and people are writing him off. Yeah. That creates a chip on a fighter's shoulders like him. And he's going to come with extra oomph to that fight to prove everybody wrong. So that's always a threat. Yeah,
more than likely. But I also think Errol Spence is going to come prepared, you know, and to answer your question, though, yeah, it's safe to say that these two guys, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, are the favorites, and they should be able to meet sometime in the future. What's going to make me happy? I actually like the fight between Errol Spence and Keith Thurman Jr., you know, because, you know, they're still top welterweights, great fighters. They have great resumes already, so I like this fight. And then they got some tension, so it's just great. And you know, Keith Thurman, in a build-up to a fight, you know, he start talking.
He's gonna talk his smack.
You know, he put it on. But what makes me happy is that if we can have the talks with the two top guys, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, kind of like advance a little bit more and say, hey, after these fights, we're gonna fight each other. It's so not you can pass your opponent.
Kind of like Tank and Ryan did
the way they did. If we can do that, then I'm happy seeing Bud fight Rocha, because I really wasn't happy seeing Bud fight Rocha because he's 35 years old. I felt like he always wanted the top fights, and for a while PBC wasn't giving him those fights until Sean Porter. So I want to see him fight the big dog now. Yeah. You know, I want to see him fight the top guys now. I didn't want to see him fight Rocha. All respect due to Rocha, but I just felt like I'd rather see him fight a Virgil Ortiz even.
But if there's something to look forward to, it settles in a little bit better.
Gervonta Ennis, yes, exactly. So if there's something to look forward to, like you said, you know, we got that slice of cake waiting.
No, I don't want to see him against Gervonta Ennis or Virgil Ortiz, Barak. I don't want to see that. I want Terrence versus Errol.
No, of course, me too. But if we got to fight in between,
no, leave them young guys alone right now, man. You paid your dues. You won titles in 3 different divisions. You were undisputed. Let that man make the big fights, get the big money, and
I feel you on that. I'm just saying, I'd rather only see Terrence fight Errol Spence, but he just fought Avanesan. He didn't want to fight Avanesan, but he had to fight. He had to fight somebody. He needed a payday. He had to fight somebody. Come on, he can't be sitting around waiting.
No doubt. And it goes. Same thing goes for Errol Spence. I don't need to see Errol fight Gervonta Ennis either, man. Those guys are young killers. Not to say that they
sound a little scared for those.
No. Listen, not saying that those guys can't beat a Gervonta. I'm just saying they've proved enough, and I know they probably would want to fight it if it gets built to that point. But I'm saying, if I was in control, those dudes need to fight each other. And then maybe down the line, if you want to, if you want to be that guy to prove to the world that this young guy ain't ready for this elite level, then so be it. But they need to fight first. Let's move on real quick, 100%. Barak.
Now we're gonna know their heart when the winner of those two fight. Let's say we get them fighting at the end of this year. Let's see if they fight Gervonta Ennis or Virgil Ortiz next. And I'm pretty sure they would.
Here's a fight that I'm excited about: Stephen Fulton, Inoue. I mean, Barak, it doesn't get any better than this. Like, this is a fight.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, it just so happens that it's smaller weight class, and in a way, it's even smaller at 118. So people don't really know that he's a 3-division champ. People don't really know that him, Gervonta Davis, and Terrence Crawford are the most dominant guys in the sport.
Yeah.
People don't know that just a few years ago, people didn't know him at all, but guys like ESPN and other networks were putting him as the #1 guy in the world. Right. Like Ring Magazine, #1 guy in the world, because he's really that good. He's really that explosive.
Barak, remember when guys were saying that, who the hell is that? Why do they have that guy on the list? Guys that really don't know?
Yep, I remember that. And I was like, well, you got to get to know him. You know, they call him a monster for a reason. And then you got Stephen Fulton, who just came out of Philly, winning the IBO belt first. And then now he's a unified champ. And he never really had it easy. He fought the Joshua Greers, you know, he fought the prospects, the undefeated prospects when he was coming up. And then all of a sudden, just to win both of his titles, he had to fight 2 undefeated champions. Come on.
I love this fight. I mean,
he's ready.
This is what boxing, these are the type of fights that need to be highlighted. I mean, mainstream needs to watch this fight, know about it, the build up and all of that. All right, listen, we all know that the Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor rematch is delayed because of injury, but still something to look forward to. We all know that, you know, Taylor's probably gonna be fighting Cameron, but I'm still looking forward to that rematch, Brock. I'm sorry.
God. Yeah, but let's just not blow Chantel Cameron out of the way like that. She's an undisputed 140-pound champion. This is crazy. This is crazy, but that's Katie Taylor for you. She doesn't shy away from the biggest fights. Natasha, like, she wants everybody. She wants everybody. She really doesn't have any easy fights. Right. Think about it. Delphine Persoon, like, she fought her twice. She didn't have to rematch her. She rematched her anyway and beat her way more convincingly, because a lot of people thought she lost the first fight. This woman, Katie Taylor, is a beast. Right. Somebody like Cameron can throw a monkey wrench in between her and Serrano.
And upset the apple cart.
You never know. But Katie Taylor, yes.
And I hate to go against a fighter, Barak, but let's hope that doesn't happen.
Oh my God.
Let's hope we get to see Amanda Serrano.
I ain't gonna lie. No, so then Cameron don't fight her, and then let's just wait. Let's just wait. Boom.
All right, look, lastly on this list, I mean, there's no way we can't talk about Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. In my opinion, it is probably the biggest fight in boxing in some cases, right? Maybe revenue, maybe pay-per-view sales, mass media. I think Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford also will get a lot. But right now, these young killers at the age that they are and the demand that they have for this fight, I don't think there's a bigger fight in boxing, Barak. There are big ones out there, but I think this one might take the cake.
I think within just the boxing world and the boxing community, obviously Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is the fight. You understand? The fight, the most important fight. But when you're talking about these two guys, you're talking about they both transcended the sport. And you can't really say the same with an Errol and Bud fight. These two have fans that really don't watch boxing. They really don't watch boxing, but they just happen to be fans of them, you know. And Tank is just part of that hip hop culture, and Ryan is just part of that pop culture. Listen, if you look on Instagram, if you look on social media, there are stars following Ryan Garcia.
Right, no doubt.
Stars, like big stars with 20 million followers, 15 million followers, stars following this guy who has never even won a title.
Yeah,
you know, he's that likable. And Gervonta Davis is the same way. You got big rappers following him. You've seen the way his crowds look. He packs out everywhere he goes. These two together, we're probably going to, monetarily, it's going to be probably the biggest game in years.
And also the press conference, a couple of press conferences coming up this week in New York and on the West Coast. And I have to give you another honorable mention in one of the biggest fights in boxing, in my opinion, very important, and that's Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko. Yes. Huge fight. That's for the undisputed lightweight crown. There's no way that fight cannot be considered one of the biggest fights in boxing. And credit to both guys, but credit to Devin Haney for setting goals, going to make sure he obtained all of those straps so he could be in a position to demand certain fights, and fighting a guy who, in my opinion, is still one of the best fighters in the worry about Vasily Lomachenko, whether he's on a pound-for-pound list or not, or some list. He is still one of the most dangerous fighters in all the sport, and Devin is going to square off. So that's a huge fight, Barak. I mean, I think boxing is at an all-time high right now.
100%. And yeah, I know he's not on your list. He's still on mine. I get a lot of flack for that, but I don't care because he's done too much in the sport and only lost one fight, 7-5 perhaps, you know, and he's come back with a vengeance to have 3 victories after fighting a war. I'm not taking him off that list. Devin Haney has just proven, as always, he'll fight anybody. So that's it. He was begging for a Lomachenko fight when we was thinking, wait a minute, that's too soon. Like probably even Eddie Hearn was like, no, it's 2019, bro. Relax.
It's safe to say that the next couple of months it's going to be on fire in this sport that we love so much. That's our show. Be back. Peace and love. Stay safe.
Introducing the new DAZN Boxing Show podcast. No matter the time or the place, getting your boxing content has become easier than ever. Tune in as we give you exclusive insights, predictions, fight night recaps, and more alongside the biggest names in the game. All for free. Available globally every Thursday across all audio streaming platforms and with new episodes dropping weekly to give you the latest news. Just type in the DAZN Boxing Show podcast, listen in, and enjoy.